And welcome back to Real Ag Radio. It's now time for a product spotlight. We're talking to Darcy Hariff. He is the director with FCC's AgExpert. Darcy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Sean. How are you?
Hey, great to chat with you. So, Darcy, you were like deep into this digital space, working on the AgExpert software platform. What value can digitizing farm records provide producers?
Yeah, good question, Sean. We think as farming gets more complex and farms get larger and there's more reporting requirements put onto Canadian producers, pen and paper record keeping methods, although have been successful for farmers in the past, they're going to need to be able to digitize those to really grab or take charge of their farm in a different way and look at their numbers and data differently than they have in the past. The other thing that digitizing your farm records gives producers, especially in our app, is it puts them in the power of your phone. So wherever you go, as long as you have your phone with you, you have access to your records. So if you're at your accountant's office or, talking to your agronomist or at your crop input dealer, and have a question about, numbers or what you applied to your crop or, when you seeded, you don't need to take your notebook around with you. You can look on your phone and that information is instantly available.
So I think some of the audience, that makes sense to me. But most likely there's some people saying, but I don't have the time. What do you say to that, Darcy?
No, that is a valid concern. And what we've tried to do with our AgExpert applications is make it as easy as possible for our customers to enter their data into our system. So, right now, a lot of times, filling out something like your crop insurance records or applying for hail insurance, or it's a time-consuming process. Not hard, but it takes a lot of time to digitize that data or take it from your various notebooks, and fill out your crop insurance reports. Using a tool like AgExpert, what we're trying to do is, by taking the time to have your records digitized, makes it easier to do some of the business processes like crop insurance reporting as we, organize the data into a report that's a close facsimile to what the prairie or I'll stick mostly with the prairie crop insurance agencies ask for. So yeah, it takes some time, but we hope that we give that time back or save farmers double that time when they go to do some of their other business processes, especially around reporting.
Well, everybody's been to a farm meeting, and there's a speaker that goes up on the stage and says, "You need to know your cost of production." Everybody's heard that. That messaging has been out there for quite a while. But what do you see as the real value to a producer knowing your cost of production?
Yeah, from our perspective, I think the value of knowing your cost of production, at least in our app, when I talk about our AgExpert Field application, is really being able to marry the financial decisions with the agronomy decisions. So knowing in season where you're at on each field and on each crop type, I think will help farmers make more knowledgeable or efficient, in some cases, management decisions. So knowing if you're at a certain number on your canola crop and you're trying to decide whether or not to spray fungicide, it really helps to know where you're at on a total, or at least a gross margin cost of production, to give you a better idea of should I or shouldn't I, or is it worth doing a foliar application or isn't. And that gets tough when you're trying to marry a bunch of pen and paper record keeping systems together. What we try to do is put it all in the power of your phone.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you how using a software platform like AgExpert, how does that make extracting that information so you can make better decisions? How does it make it easier than if you are working in your notebook and keeping records with a pen and paper?
That's a good question, Sean. What we do, and there's some time to set up your, and I'll just focus on AgExpert Field right now. There's some time to set up your farm, but what we're asking farmers is, before you get into your production season, so, in the winter months, make sure you go in and kind of set up your short list of all your crop input products that you're thinking you're planning on using. Put in the fertilizer blends that you're planning on applying. And then, if you don't exactly know the costs to it, put in the costs as you think they'll be, as close as you can. And then as you get closer in season, you at least have a starting point. So As you then apply that fertilizer, let's say you're putting on some 4600 and it costs, you paid $450 a ton for it. When you set up your seeding record in AgExpert Analyst and you put on your application rate, say of 200 pounds an acre, we automatically calculate, the cost per acre of that fertilizer activity. Similar for the seed, the crop protection products you use, chemical applications, foliar applications. As you set up that activity and pick, what crop protection product or what you're doing in it, it'll automatically calculate your cost of production throughout the growing season.
Darcy, if somebody wants more information on AgExpert, where do they go?
You can find us on the web at fccagexpert.ca, or you can contact our AgExpert customer care line at 1-800-667-7893.
Hey, great stuff, Darcy. Really appreciate you joining us here for this product spotlight. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sean. Have a good day.